What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. By the title and the thumbnail, you already know we're dealing with reduced engine power. If you clicked on this video, you're probably having some issues and you're trying to figure out why. Anybody that's on the channel, that's followed the channel, you're probably wondering what vehicle I'm talking about because the Nova's not done yet. Matter of fact, we're not going to be working on the Nova for a couple weeks, and the reason why is I have a massive update. If everything works out, this is going to be the biggest update I've ever had on the channel, period. Like, never, I don't know there'll ever be another update as big as this one. Like, it's massive. And I'm really waiting to put some wrench time in on the Nova till that update. Right now, we're looking at turbos. We're looking like an S400, a couple different turbos for it, and trying to find the one that's right for us, and also getting all the pipe and everything. We're going to weld that up, and I'm going to try to learn to TIG weld. I don't know how well that's going to go, but hopefully it goes pretty well. But as far as having issues with reduced engine power, I'm talking about the good old pain in my butt Denali. So let's take a look real quick and I'll explain to you what's going on. So anyone that's had an LS powered vehicle with an electronic throttle body for an extended period of time, you probably know what I'm talking about when I say the wonderfully dreaded reduced engine power. Now, what that means is, let me just explain real quick. This is a fully electronic throttle body. That means there is no cable. It is 100% controlled by this throttle body module right there. It's all electric. It's a stepper motor that controls the throttle plate. And it actually controls idle everything. It doesn't have an idle air control valve. The throttle body does it all. And there's a lot of issues that can go wrong with this. One of the common things that people do to fix this is they run a ground wire to the throttle body. One of the reasons they do that is this throttle body is connected to a plastic intake manifold. Plastic does not make a good ground, if any at all, really. Usable ground, that is. So that's one of the issues, that as the vehicle gets older, you get some corrosion on some things, and the ground that the actual throttle body is using, it gets corroded. Its signal's not as good. It's just not as good. These connectors can wear out. As you can tell, this is not the original connector. Now, I didn't put this on. The guy before me did. He put that throttle body module on. I don't know if that's OEM or not. He put a Amazon throttle body on, which we've already thrown away. If you know anything about a GM, there's vehicles out there that you can throw Amazon parts on, and for the most part, they don't care. The General Motors, they know immediately it's not an OEM part, and they just fight. I haven't dealt with Big Blue, hopefully don't for a while. This is like the workhorse in my business. But we have done a lot of work on the Denali. We put an Amazon oil pressure sensor, which was a big no-no, but I just wanted to see, just so I get my gauge working. Yeah, that didn't go well at all. That throttle body, I didn't put it on there. He did, but it didn't work out well at all. I'm not sure if this is OEM or not. But anyway, this fixed my problem. This is an OEM AC Delco we put on a couple months ago. We haven't got a lot of miles on it. We've been dealing a lot of issues out of the 4L60, and it wasn't necessarily the transmission's fault, as the shop we chose to take it to just did a terrible job. We took it back 4 times for warranty work, and it didn't get any better. Like, every time it had the same issues, and it's like, dude, do you not test drive the car? We'll discuss that in another video. Anyway, up till the other day, this throttle body fixed my issue. And now what it did the other day is I went to start it, ran great the day before, went to start it, didn't want to start, just awful, didn't start. I tried starting it again. It finally started, and I mean, like, it ran rougher than a doo-doo for a little bit. Finally, it started idling. I was sitting and let it warm up. My wife's like, man, don't drive it, something's wrong. But no, it's okay, it's just been a butthole. That's just the Denali's personality. No big deal. Well, while letting it warm up, I had to move some stuff in the driveway. It cut off again. We looked on the inside and reduced engine power. So I pulled the plug off, cleaned it up, everything, put it back on. So far, we haven't had the same issue, but I do know it is throttle body related. I'm probably going to run a wire from here to there just to make sure it's getting a satisfactory ground. But if you're having that issue, if you're running an Amazon throttle body, I want to go ahead and tell you, trying to fix it with grounds or anything is probably not going to do it. They're just cheap made throttle bodies, and these vehicles do not like them. They want to see a perfect reference signal and everything, and the Amazon throttle bodies, I just don't believe are up to that, to where like the OEM stuff even has issues where you get OEM stuff that does the same thing. I've seen it. I've heard of people going through several oil pressure centers like way back. It's a nightmare to get to. But I've heard of people even going through several OEM AC Delcos before they find a good one. Now, the one I have in this one just reads maxed out 60. I'm fine with that. I grew up in the 90s. Most cars didn't come with an oil pressure gauge anyway, so it just doesn't bother me. As long as it's running, we're good. If oil pressure tanks, well, it's just going to be a bad day and it's going to suck, and we'll deal with that when it happens. Anyway, this right here so far did fix my issue, but those are some things that you need to look at, as well as something I am going to do is you pull this connector off. I'm not going to do it today, but you can pull this connector off, shoot some contact cleaner in there, make sure you don't have no corrosion, and that can help a lot too. You know, things sit for a while, even though that might be a watertight seal, they can still get corrosion in them. You'd be amazed. But anyway, eventually we will either get the Denali sorted out, or we have also looked at trading the Denali. Now, I have a couple things coming up. We're buying an E350 van to clean up a little bit if everything works out, and then resell it. We're getting it for a super deal, and hopefully I make a couple $1,000s off of it. I think it's got the 5.4 Triton in it. I don't know anything about a Ford. I'm not a Ford fan at all. It's decent enough. It's got like the church van seats in it. Hopefully everything works out with that and we make a couple $1,000 off that. But I have had a gentleman interested in possibly trading this for a school bus. You're probably asking, what in the world do you need with a school bus? Well, when we go drag racing, sometimes you're other states for a period of time, and if we don't have a place to stay, we got to do a hotel. And a hotel will absolutely break you, not to mention your stuff's out in a parking lot, possibly. You don't know who's messing with it, and it can cause a lot of issues to where at the track, you know, yeah, you're not perfectly safe, but your stuff's safer. So we're looking at getting a school bus, turning into like an RV situation and pulling the car. Plus, most school buses have like industrial diesels, industrial grade transmissions. So they're kind of made to deal with things a little more than just my average Denali. They're made to exceed the need, and that's kind of what we want. Plus, when we're not doing drag racing, we can take the school bus somewhere as an RV. So it kind of works out both ways. Did have a gentleman wanted to trade me my Denali, or his school bus for my Denali. Had a 5.9 Cummins in it with an Allison transmission. Did have a leak in the radiator, which kind of turned me off the deal. I don't want to have to mess with something. If it's got that, you know, what else does it have? And that's not that big of an issue. But we bought the Denali with a couple known issues that wasn't a big deal. And as we got, you know, driving it, we found out it's got a whole lot more issues. So really don't want to get in that situation if I can avoid it. But for now, that's going to be the tow rig. Hopefully we get that straightened out. We are still battling some small transmission issues. That's another video. And like I said, in about a week, maybe 2 weeks, I'll have that massive update for you. I want to do a great video with it. And hopefully everything goes the way we got it planned. But anyways, guys, this has been the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. My dog's sitting there staring at me. I don't have no food. Maybe she's got to poop. I don't know. Anyway, let me take her to poop, and we will get back with you guys later.